At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it. We cannot transform it. And unfortunately, at the level of human awareness, we cannot know it. The reason is, as they have explained to you already, that these two things called conditionings and the ego are covering up our brain. Apart from that, we are not connected to the all-pervading power, which is the love of God. In these modern times, to talk of God is something out of date. And also, there are many people who have talked about God, established religions, established all kinds of huge, big organizations, and people have discovered that there's no truth in it. It's not based on truth. Though the incarnations, prophets, all of them have been expressing nothing but truth, manifesting nothing but truth. But somehow or other, all these organizations have deviated. And what is the reason for that? The reason for that, a simple thing which was important, is that one has to go beyond this human awareness through their self-realization, through their second birth, or as Walihood, as they call it in Islam. This was not at all attempted, nor the attention paid to such an important thing that we have to get our self-realization, that we have to be connected to this all-pervading power of God. That's why they deviated into, I think, 2-3 things. Firstly, it deviated into money orientation. It became a thing where people must make money. And such horrible things they have done. It's surprising how could they do it when they were professing truth. The second was that they wanted to have power. They did it for power, so they mixed up politics, things, that, such a mixture of things. But they are not spirit-oriented. They didn't work out that you have to be the spirit. Now this mechanism exists within you. I say so, but you shouldn't take it for granted. You shouldn't believe me blindly. But you must experience yourself, if it is so. Like a hypothesis, you can accept what I am saying. But supposing I prove it, then you have to accept it as honest people. Because it is for your benevolence, the benevolence of this Australia, benevolence of the whole world. This is what we have been waiting for all these days. This is being promised to us in all the scriptures. But instead of seeking that, people have deviated into businesses or into political organizations, which is a very unjust, unfair treatment to divinity. This divinity resides within you all, as shown here, is within you. This power is within, is your own power. Maybe I just trigger it like one enlightened light can enlighten another light. But is within you, residing just like a primule in a seed. And whatever powers you get afterwards, when you are connected to the mains, are also within you. You are not to feel obliged to me, nor am I in any way obligated to. It's just that it is your own, this is your own property, and that the key has to be found. Of course, you can't pay for it. One must understand you can't pay for a higher awareness. What can you pay? It's something so natural. It's a living process. And what do we pay to this Mother Earth for sprouting a seed? She doesn't understand even. So you can't pay for it. First of all, understand that it is not something material that you can buy, but it's your own energy which has to manifest it. Tomorrow, of course, I am going to tell you about what is the nature of the spirit. But today, I have to just tell you one thing, that this Kundalini is within you. And when she rises, she definitely solves your physical, mental, emotional problems, also your material problems. But above all, your spiritual urge. They say that in this Kali Yuga, Ghor Kali Yuga, these modern times, this work will be done. It's already being predicted. That people who were seeking the truth in the hills and dales will find it within themselves as ordinary householders. And that's what I find is so easy. The time is such that it's working out in such great numbers. Surprisingly, in a place which we call the country called Russia, where they had never heard about God. They were not supposed to think about God. They were not supposed to even utter the word God. Where thousands and thousands have got realization. And such seeking, I was wondering what is the thing that they have, that they should, in thousands should come to these lectures of mine, and I had to arrange them in stadiums, never in a hall like this. And the way they got their realization is very surprising, how they got it. Because they said, Mother, we have nothing to do with spirituality. We never heard that there is something higher than this human awareness. And how do we get this? I said, there must be something special about it. And the special about them, I think, that they were kept out of materialism. They have everything provided for whatever is necessary. Moreover, they are very introspective by nature, extremely introspective. If you read their writers like Tolstoy or anyone, even the hero will introspect himself. This introspection has brought forth such personalities that they are finding one thing in common, that they haven't found out the absolute truth. Whatever they know is on the relative terminology. Even the science they think is all the time changing, is nothing of a permanent nature. And when I addressed there the scientists, they said, Mother, tell us everything else, but not science. We had enough of it. So this is what it is, that we have to see also what all these enterprises we have entered into. Like science, what has happened to us? Today we have created a big devil there, atom bomb, and here a hydrogen bomb sitting on our head. We have created those devils and they are frightening us. We have created these ecological problems. We have created these political problems, economic problems ourselves. That means something wrong with human beings. That means they haven't found the absolute. So, this human being has to be transformed. This transformation once takes place, we become the spirit. It's question of becoming. It's not just giving a sermon or a lecture or anything like that. It should happen to you. From this human awareness, you have to become a higher personality, which is a spiritual awareness. This can happen very easily. Sahaja means also very easy, simple. Also it means born with you. So you all have a birthright. You are born with this birthright to get your self-realization. For that, you do not have to pay, do not have to exert. It's absolutely effortless. And also, you do not have to think about it because it is beyond thinking. So many things people are talking about, so many theories. They talk of capitalism, communism, thisism, thatisms. Goes on like a yarn out of the brain comes out and everybody gets engulfed. Once it is written down, it becomes a Bible, people start following it. But of no avail. Only compartments have been created. You are this, you are that, you are a Christian, Hindu, Muslim, this, that and all that, into compartments. Human beings are divided by all this thinking. You are a communist, you are a capitalist, you are this, you are that. You are not. You are a human being to begin with, and you are the pure spirit. And if the spirit is the reflection of one God, then how can we be separated? How can we put into some compartments? We are part and parcel of one God Almighty. The microcosm has to become the macrocosm, that's all. This happening has to take place, where the drop of your personality has to become one with the whole. Also, the concept of individuality is so wrong. This concept of individuality that we have is against the spirit of the whole, absolutely against the spirit of the whole. But individuality, the way nature is individual in the sense every leaf is different from another leaf, every flower is different from another flower to look at. But in its nature, it is just the same. It comes from the same source. In the same way, we have to become the spirit, though we may dress up separately, differently. In Sahaja Yoga, nobody is wearing funny dresses, you see, like regimentation or some sort of a orange dress or nothing of the kind. It's not the dress that matters. It's something very much inside and innate. So the innate religion has to be awakened. Unless and until that innate religion is awakened, you may be a Christian, Hindu, Muslim, anything. You can commit any kind of sin, any kind of murder, any theft, anything. That is all absolutely against the collective. Nothing stops you. That means whatever you are professing is just outside, just mental. Nothing has gone inside. Even if you are educated in that, you have seen the priests, you have seen the mullahs, you have seen all these people, they are so well educated, they do the same. What's wrong there? When they know this is right, why don't they do what is right? The reason is they haven't got the power of the Spirit. In the light of the Spirit only, you become what you profess. You walk what you talk. We don't have to tell anyone that you do this or do that, because they have the light. In their own light, they see the same thing, understand the same thing. They know what is right and what is wrong, and what is good for you, what is for your benevolence. Of course, the raising of this Kundalini, as I told you, many diseases can be cured physically. We have 3 doctors in Delhi, those who have got MD after doing their MBBS. In the subject of Sahaja Yoga, they have cured people of some incurable diseases. And now there are 7 doctors in England. Also we have doctors here, 2 or 3, who are collecting data to show how Sahaja Yoga can cure you without wasting your time into something that we call as the medicines and all artificial things. So many things can be done with your own power. You don't have to depend on anybody else. But the cleansing part of your being takes place when you become collective, when you are together. Like supposing a nail of mine is broken, it won't grow. It will be just left at the same point where it was thrown out. In the same way, if you are collected, the whole body of spirituality will cleanse you completely, will manifest all your powers, will give you what you are worth. You have to know your glory. You have to know your beauty. And no use condemning yourself that I am a sinner, I have done this wrong, that wrong. After all, you are human beings. And as human beings, we are supposed to commit mistakes. We are not gods. So those people who tell you that you are a sinner, this thing, that thing, should see their own sins. So please have no diffidence about yourself. No diffidence at all. I assure you, all of you can get realization if you can just get over your diffidence. It's one thing, we have to accept that we are human beings and we are the epitome of evolution. We have evolved up to this state and a little more is needed, which is very easy and should happen to you. It's already built in with you. It's already there. For example, see, this instrument is made, but if it is not put to the means, it has no meaning. In the same way, you are to be put to the means. And this all-pervading power about which what I am saying, we start feeling it for the first time. We see these beautiful flowers all around. We take them for granted. How have they come? Out of this Mother Earth, which looks so gross, and out of one seed? How these different flowers have come with different personalities? We take them for granted. All the living work, we take it for granted, even ourselves. Look at our eye, what a camera it is. Look at our brain, what a computer it is. We take it for granted. Why? Because we have no answer. We cannot say how. But in Sahaja Yoga, we will know how it works out. I hope you all will take your realization. And tomorrow again, I'll tell you all about the Spirit, what the Spirit is. You don't have to take me for granted. Again, I'm saying that. Blind faith is not needed. But as scientists, you must keep an open mind to test for yourself and see for yourself. It will hardly take 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes also, for you to get your realization. There is no necessity for you to have any kind of a reading done or any kind of a penance done. As long as a human being, you are a human being, and that you desire very strongly your self-realization, nothing more is needed. This Kundalini is the power of your pure desire. All other desires are not pure because they are never session. So this pure desire should be in your heart, that I should get my self-realization and let all my powers manifest. I think we can have some little time for questioning, but please don't ask me unnecessary questions to waste time for everyone, because it's easy to answer because I am not quite an expert. I've been working on this for 21 years and I know all the Western minds, how they work, and the Eastern minds, how they work. And I can answer all your questions. Still, I would request you that it's not important. Even if I answer you, even if you are satisfied mentally, still, it's no guarantee that your Kundalini will rise. Main thing is that your Kundalini must rise and you must get your self-realization, which is the actualization of baptism. It's actualization. It is not just putting my hand on your heads and say that now you have got your realization or you have got your baptism. This is what it is. So I would request you, if you have any questions, to ask me. Please. Thank you very much. What do you say?
When you raise the Kundalini, don't you automatically raise the impurities in the chakras as well?
Yeah. See, the Kundalini is to be understood in a very proper way. These are the chakras, say on the left sympathetic and the right sympathetic. When they meet, they make the parasympathetic nervous system. And these are the centers. Now when you start using too much of right or left side, then what happens that they become constricted. Now when the Kundalini rises, she doesn't rise the whole of her own body. It's like many strings put together like a rope. So some strings rise and they try to expand this space by nourishing those centers. But completely they are not nourished fully. Some people do have very beautiful balanced life. They do get it. But not mostly, they don't. So what happens when the Kundalini rises? She passes through nourishes them and pierces through your fontanel bone area. But it's a very small thread, I should say, in the beginning, which passes through the very, very subtle channel we call as Brahmanadi. When it pierces through, then it opens this, I should say, as the ego and conditioning part of it, these two open out. And this 1,000-petaled chakra we call as the Sahasrara, the 1,000-petaled lotus, also opens out. When it opens out, it gets connected, of course, but the connection is not established fully. Even if you connect this, it may not be. If it is little faulty, it may not be established. So it has to be established. That hardly takes a month at the most. For some people, it doesn't even take 1 day, even 1 minute. So it depends on. So we have to pay respect to ourselves and understand that if there's any problem, doesn't matter, we should correct it. Then also you must know what it is. You must have the full knowledge as to what is this Kundalini, what you have achieved, what are your powers, how can you work it out. Everything you must know, because once you are enlightened, you should be able to give light to others. After this happening, you can give realization to others. You get that power. You can cure people. You can put them right. Even a person who is spiritually so awakened, even if he enters any place, peace comes. Balance, equilibrium, even in the nature comes. So, such a personality, if you create within yourself, you have to do it. And that, if it is required little time, you should give that time to yourself. And then, when in a full way, you become really a divine personality. That's what we have to achieve. But you don't have to give up your families, you don't have to give up your anything. It's something that happens within yourself. And that should happen to all of us. It makes no difference what age you are, it makes no difference what race you are, nothing of the kind. As long as you are a human being, it works out.
The question is, what is actually the meaning of the term realization and what actually is happening?
Yeah, told you. Actually happening is the awakening of the Kundalini, and you are getting connected to the means the all-pervading power, which is all the time flowing through you. Now, what is self-realization? That I am going to tell you tomorrow as I said it, but in short is that you know about your own centers. You become aware of yourself. Firstly, many things happen, but one of them is on a physical level, you know. Now people get cancer, they don't know if they are getting cancer, they become mad, they don't know they are becoming mad. But you become knowledgeable, you can feel it. On your fingertips you can feel it. Your centers and the centers of others. So that you become collectively conscious. Your consciousness is so much enlarged that you can feel the centers of others. Sitting down here, you can feel the centers of others. Then you don't talk about a person as an Australian, Indian or anything, but you will say that this center is not all right, that center is not all right, this center is very good. This is the language you start talking about. And what happens is such a lot that in one lecture I don't think I can cover it. But tomorrow I'm sure I'll be able to tell you elaborately what all the good things happen to a person who is a self-realized. First you get your self-realization is better. For example, you see here beautiful lights are here, and when you come, you have to just switch on one switch. Because it's all built in there, it's there, existing. What's this of telling about all the history of these lights and the history of electricity and all of how it came here to Melbourne and how it was brought here? Better have your lights first and then we'll talk about it. Otherwise it would be boring.
Questions? The questioner is a little uncertain about the nature of the term desiring the Spirit. In order to achieve the Spirit, you have to desire it, and that you have to have a purity of spirit in order to achieve the Spirit.
You see why I said you have to desire? Because God has given you freedom. I cannot be disrespectful to that freedom. If you don't desire, I cannot force on you. Cannot be done. You have to ask for it. It cannot be forced. It cannot be. You cannot mesmerize people. You cannot do something like that. You cannot force people. You cannot dominate. It is your will which has to come. Only through your sweet will it will work out. And do you know that many have written about this, like William Blake has written, that men of God, it's a special category of people who are seekers of truth. It's a special category. He described them as men of God will know God and they'll have powers to make others godly. So many have said about this in India also. But I must say William Blake was a great seer, that he could see this so clearly, what was going to happen in the future.
Why not have faith in Western medicine?
Huh?
Why not have faith in Western medicine?
You should. Why not? I did also Western medicine. You must have. But I am saying your faith in Western medicine is all right. But they have no control over parasympathetic nervous system. There are many things which cannot be answered by medical sciences. But if we can manage it with something else, why not do it? Very thoughtless of it.
As though our questions are finished.
All right. Then what happens? That these two, conditioning and ego, these two institutions are sucked like that. With that, you achieve a state which we call as thoughtless awareness, called as nirvichar samadhi in Sanskrit language. Thoughtless awareness means you are absolutely aware, but there is no thought. Otherwise, we are always bombarded with thinking. Thoughts are coming whether you like it or not. You can't stop it. Now, thoughts come either from the future or from the past. In the present, if I say, stop your thought, you cannot. And you cannot be in the present unless until you stop your thoughts. So the first state that comes to you, that you become thoughtlessly aware, means you have a command over your thoughts. If you want, you will think, otherwise you will not think. And you grow spiritually only when you are in the present. If I say pay attention to yourself, you can't. So how to pay attention inside? But supposing Kundalini rises, then the attention, which we can say like a sari like this, and it pushes up the attention. Attention here, when it reaches, then the grace starts falling, or we can say the light starts falling on the attention, and your attention becomes enlightened. But you are in thoughtless awareness state. Afterwards, when you have established your connections properly, then you are in the second state that we call as doubtless awareness. And this doubtless awareness state in which you start manifesting all your powers. And this is what we have to achieve, which is very easy, works out in a very simple way. Of course, you don't have to pay at all for that. And it works wonderfully because you get the proof of it. You get these powers working and you understand that these powers are working. You have to certify yourself. Nobody is going to give you the certificate. It is you who is going to decide. Is it all right now? Should we have the session for self-realization?
Can you achieve a balance of the chakras through mantras and meditation or singing?
Of course, but it's a science. One has to know what to do exactly. It's not just saying any mantras. You see, there are people who are giving mantras for 300 pounds or 6,000 pounds. I mean, nonsense it is. And mantras are related to your chakras, which you yourself will know, but mostly it is not needed. If it is needed, you may have to do some sort of asana, as Hatha Yoga is, but very rarely. So mantras do not play much role unless and until you have that problem. Then you have to use the mantras. But which is the chakra for which you need, you have to find out first of all. That's only possible when the Kundalini rises. Then you know where it is obstructed. Then you have to use a particular mantra. That helps. On the whole, all this knowledge is very easily available. It's not difficult. But first of all, you must enter into the kingdom of God. Then you are looked after. Unless and until that has happened, it's impossible. It will be just talk, talk and talk. And you have had many talks. It should not be another talk to you. But it should happen. Is the becoming. All these things which we have known, part here, part there, something false, something true. In the light, you see everything so clearly. In the darkness of ignorance, you believe this is true, that should be such. But what you need is the enlightened mind. Once you are enlightened, you are a different person altogether. So now, please don't get worried about yourself. You are all going to get your self-realization. Don't doubt yourself. That's the first condition, is relax. Don't doubt yourself. You are all going to get your realization. I have no doubts about it. But if you doubt yourself, I can't help it. Must have full confidence in yourself. That is the first condition. The second condition is that you are not to feel guilty about anything whatsoever. It's a fashion these days also to feel guilty for nothing. Especially in English language, we go on saying sorry, sorry, morning till evening. Even on the telephone, you see now, in our times, we used to say, beg your pardon, but nowadays people say sorry for that also, I don't know. For anything they go on saying sorry. What is there to be sorry about? So, in short, you have to be very pleasantly placed towards yourself. Don't have any diffidence. Whatever has been a mistake is all right, has to be corrected, and can be done very easily if you have self-confidence. So please don't feel guilty. Don't start confessing in your mind what wrong you have done to yourself or anything. Please, please don't. And third condition is also very simple if you understand, that you have to forgive everyone in general. Now, this people sometimes say is very difficult, but logically understand. Whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. What do? Nothing. But when you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands. Those who wanted to trouble you are happy, while you are the one who is feeling extremely unhappy, all the time torturing yourself for the sake of others. So just forgive everyone. Take it out of your mind. Now since I have come to Australia, I find when I meet them that they say, Mother, difficult to forgive, difficult to forgive. I mean, there's nothing difficult, it's your own mental nonsense. Throw it away. You feel so much lighter just now. Just say, I forgive everyone. All those nonsensical people you need not even think of. In general, you should say, I've forgiven everyone, and you'll be very much better off. These are the only three conditions which are very easy and everybody can do it. Now, I have to request you that you have to take out your shoes if possible, because this Mother Earth really helps us a lot. Now, those who are sitting on the ground, it's all right, but those who are not sitting on the ground have to know that you have to put your you can come in front if you like. You can come in front. Put your left hand, foot away from the right, because the left side represents our power of desire. Now, medical science doesn't make difference between the left lobe and the right lobe of the brain, but we do. So we have to put the left foot away from the right foot, and we have to use our left hand to express our pure desire to get self-realization. Is to put your left hand like this, just like this as he showed, left hand. And the right hand is the power of action. So we'll use our right hand to give nourishment to our centers. This is to be done only today, not all the time. Once you are realized, you don't have to do all this. This is just for your realization and also for you to know how you can raise your own Kundalini just now. So now the left hand is towards me, suggesting that you are desirous of having self-realization. And the right hand is to be used for your action. I've already told you that I respect your freedom. And those who do not want to have self-realization should not watch others and sit here. They should go, and that would be very civil of them to do. But those who want can have it very easily. But whatever we get so easily without paying anything, sometimes we do not have respect for that. But you don't know, this is the most precious thing, to become a spirit. And we should really respect this self-realization and try to expand our awareness. So please put left hand towards me, and now the right hand on your heart. In the heart resides the spirit. If you become the spirit, you become your own guide, your own master, your own guru. So, take your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen, which is the center of, on the left hand side. We are working only on the left hand side, which is the center of your mastery. Then you take your hand in the lower portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. This is the center of pure knowledge. Knowledge of the divine laws and how to work them out. When you get your self-realization, you'll find, first time you will feel this all-pervading power on your fingertips. Also you'll find a cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area. Maybe warm in the beginning, but later on cools down. So, this power that you get, you should know how to use it for your benevolence and for the benevolence of others. This is the pure knowledge. Now, please take your hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And now, again on your heart. Now you have to put your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn your head to your right. This center is caught up when you feel guilty. That's a very dangerous thing, because when this center is out of gear, you get a horrible disease called angina, you get spondylitis, also you get very lethargic organs. So please don't feel guilty. Now, raise your hand to your forehead across, put your thumb on one side and the fingers on the other and press it hard. Now put it down your head. This is the center for forgiving others. Now, take this right hand, I am just showing you now, and then we'll do it and I'll explain to you. On the back side of your head. Now push back your head as far as possible. This is the center. Without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, only for your satisfaction, you have to ask forgiveness from this all-pervading power. Now, stretch your hand fully. The palm is to stretch fully and put the center of your palm on the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now put down your head as far as possible. Press it hard, your scalp, by pushing out your fingers outward. Now this is very important. Push them out. And now press it and move your scalp 7 times. You will know the reason for all this. Why? 7 times you have to move it. Press your scalp and put down your head. Clockwise, move it clockwise 7 times. That's all you have to do, that's all. Now, we have to close the eyes. You can take away your spectacles. Please see that both the feet are away from each other. If there's anything tight on your neck too much or on your waist, you can loosen it a little bit. And you have to be comfortable, not to slouch, not to stretch too much, but in a comfortable state way you have to sit down. Now please put the left hand towards me, right hand on your heart, and close your eyes. Here you have to ask me a question in your heart. You may call me Mother, or you may call me Shri, Mataji, whatever you feel like. Ask a question in your heart 3 times, a very fundamental question about yourself. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times in your heart. If you are the spirit, you are your master. So please put your right hand on the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it with your fingers, not very hard. Here you ask another fundamental question in your heart 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? With full confidence, ask this question. Again, I cannot cross over your freedom. I respect it. And I cannot force pure knowledge on you. You have to ask for it. So please take your right hand in the lower portion of your abdomen and press it hard on the left hand side. Here, please say 6 times because this center has got 6 petals. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Ask this 6 times. As soon as you ask for pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts moving upward. So now, with full confidence, you have to open your higher centers. Please raise your right hand on the left hand side of your abdomen in the upper portion and press it hard. Here, you have to say with full confidence 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. Say it with full confidence. Complete self-confidence. Mother, I am my own master. You have to say it 10 times. We have to know that we are not this body, this mind, these intellects, emotions, conditionings, ego, but we are pure spirit. This is the fundamental truth about yourself. So now please raise your right hand on your heart and with full confidence say 12 times. Please say 12 times, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Please say 12 times, Mother, I am the pure spirit. 12 times, please. Another thing we have to know, that this all-pervading power of God's love is the ocean of knowledge, is the ocean of compassion and bliss, but above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. And whatever mistakes we might have committed can be easily dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please forgive yourself. And now raise your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder. Push it as far back as possible and turn your head to your right. Here you have to say 16 times with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say it 16 times. You don't judge yourself. Let your Kundalini judge. Mother, I am not guilty at all. He said 16 times. This center has the maximum number of petals, 16 petals. This center looks after your ear, nose, throat, face, everything, your tongue, your eyes. I have already told you that whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands. So in general, you have to forgive everyone, not remembering any one of the people who have troubled. Now raise your right hand on your forehead across. Put your thumb on one side and fingers on the other. Now press it hard. Please bend your head as far as possible. Here, without thinking of anybody else, just in general, you have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Or Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Say it from your heart, not how many times, but from your heart. Now please take your hand on the back side of your head and push it back as far as possible. Here, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, you have to say with full confidence, O Divine Power, please forgive me if I have done anything wrong against you, knowingly or unknowingly. O Divine Power, please forgive me if I have done anything wrong against you, knowingly or unknowingly. This you are going to say for your satisfaction from your heart, not how many times. Now the last center, which is very important. Please stretch your hand. And put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was the soft bone in your childhood. Please put down your head as far as possible. Push back your fingers. Please push back your fingers. Put a good pressure on your scalp. Here again, I respect your freedom. I cannot force self-realization on you. So you have to say 7 times, Mother, please give me self-realization, my second birth, and you just move your scalp very slowly 7 times saying that. Push back your fingers, push back your fingers so that there's no pressure. Put down your heads, please, put down your heads. Please put down your heads. Push back your fingers. Now please take down your hands. Put both the hands towards me like this. Open your eyes, you can wear your spectacles also. Put both the hands towards me like this. Now put the right hand towards me like this. Put down your head and see for yourself if there's a cool or a hot breeze like waves coming from your head. Bend your head and see for yourself. Don't put your hand on top of your head, away from it. Some people get it far away, some get it nearer. Just see if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming in. Now, please put the left hand towards me and bend your head. And see for yourself now, with the right hand, if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your head. Again with the right hand. Please try again with the right hand. See yourself if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming. Now, raise your both the hands towards the sky like this. And ask a question 3 times. Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Or you can ask, Mother, is this the all-pervading power of God's love? Or you can ask, Mother, is this the Parama Chaitanya? Ask any one of these questions. These are the names of only one thing, which is the all-pervading power of divine love, which does all the living work. Just ask any one of these questions 3 times. Push back your head towards the sky. Please put down your hands. Just put the hands down. You can become thoughtless. You can watch me without thinking. Just put. Now those who have felt, please put down your hands. Put your hands like this. Now, those who have felt cool or warm or hot breeze-like waves on the fingers, on the hands, or out of the fontanelle bone area, please raise both your hands. So, that's it. May God bless you. Everyone seems to have got it, except for very few people who haven't. Very few didn't get it. Doesn't matter. You'll get it tomorrow. It's all right. You shouldn't doubt. That's the main point, is the doubting. And you should forgive. Most of you. Except for 3-4 people, I think most of you have got it. So may God bless you. I hope to see you tomorrow again. And tomorrow, I'll meet all of you individually. All of you. Now you have to inform your friends and everyone that they should come. And we should have more people. Because I'm here only for tomorrow, and then I'll come back after 2 years. 1 year. I should say 2 years. All right. So I would request you that you should inform your friends, you should inform your relations, because this is the only thing you can give it to them. Now you have reached a state where you are thoughtless. So don't argue with people who haven't got it. Those who haven't got it will also get it tomorrow. And those who have got it should know that you have to maintain it by keeping the peace in your heart and not arguing about it and quarreling with others. Because those who won't get it will start saying something. Doesn't matter, makes no difference. You have got it, so keep your experience with yourself. And we have to share it with others, so many in Melbourne. May God bless you.